Welcome, I'm Danny G. It is Friday, January 29th, and we have lost a titan of our culture, Cicely Tyson. I had literally just pressed send and submit on my payment to get this book when I heard the news, and oh my goodness, and it came this morning, and I'm so thankful that it came this morning on this day, because I am talking to one of my dearest, oldest friends. But anyway, Cicely Tyson, we say your name. We thank you. Yes, I'm so glad we were able to give her flowers while she was here with us on this earth, and all that she has meant to us. Civil rights, for culture, for dance, for theater, just everything, all the flowers. So welcome. It is dannIGeeLive, and I have an incredible, amazing guest today. You all, if you don't know him, Dwight Rhoden is an incredible dancer, artist, choreographer, director, all of the above, but ultimately he is one of my best and dearest friends. And so I'm so glad you guys are joining us today on this January 29th. We are in this new year, the last Friday before Black History Month. So we're going to talk about that and all the programs that Complexions Contemporary Ballet has coming up. And that's it. So I'm going to go find Mr. Dwight Rhoden and bring him right in, because I have so much to ask him about. And let's see. All right. Yes. Okay, let me invite him in. Hey, come. Yes.
Hello. Yes. Okay. Wait. Okay. I have to fix the lighting. There we go. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. So, hello, Dwight. I love you. You know you're my brother. You are my brother. So, just to give you guys a little context, first of all, so y'all know I'm with Summer Stage. Okay, all good. So back last year when the COVID first struck and we had to shut down the festival, Dwight graciously accepted my invitation to be my first inaugural guest for Summer Stage Anywhere, our digital platform.
See, Danny, this is the thing. This is how we were in the company. I couldn't even be on stage with her. We would try to be professional in rehearsal, and Danny would have me cracking up. So I just smile. When I see Danny G, I just smile. We laugh. We kiki. Okay,
yes.
sorry,
No, I love it. This is exactly why I wanted to bring you on, because first of all, you are my brother, and I have so much to ask you. And I feel like I've known you forever, but there are definitely things that I don't know that I'm so excited to ask you about today. So thank you for doing this with me today.
My pleasure.
First and foremost, how are you?
I'm good. Busy, working hard, working on this. We got this new film coming up, which we're going to talk about.
Yes.
But I'm good. I'm surviving. I'm hanging in there, day to day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. So can you back up a little bit off the screen so we can see your whole beautiful face? Yes.
Oh, there we go. Wow.
You were giving us.
Oh, was I like that? Oh, that's real bad.
But you're gorgeous, and we love those beautiful eyes of yours. So,
they're
yes, weird.
I got the COVID chubby right now, but it's okay.
Listen, we all got the COVID chubby right now. Okay, trust and believe. Okay,
right.
Before I jump into all of the questions I have for you, I went digging through my files, and look what I found, Dwight.
Oh my God, that's like one of the first posters of Complexions.
This is the first flyer for Complexions. I think it's backwards on my screen, but it reads "Passion in Every Hue." And this was June 10th and 11th, 1994, Symphony Space.
That's the first show.
Put your hearts up if you guys were at this show, 1994, Symphony Space. Let us see your hearts.
Those were the days.
That show, let me tell y'all something. If y'all weren't there, Desmond and Dwight did it right. Okay. First of all, it was sold out, 2 nights sold out. But the very first night, they went above and beyond and put roses in every seat. Right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong to say that? in the theater?
No, well, it was the people who gave $100. They were our big donors.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Still, you acknowledge the people who were supporting, and it was sold out. And here you guys are now. I can't count. Was it 27? This is 27 now.
It's our
right?
27th season. Yeah, we're going into our 27th season.
And this time last year, we got you guys got your season in at the Joyce before the shutdown.
Yes, you were because Danny works with us every year. She's always there. She takes care of our box office, and her and I are strategizing, trying to make our numbers every week. And yeah, we had just finished that whole run, and right after that, closely thereafter, we were on lockdown.
Right. The world shut down. So I'm just thankful that you guys were able to get your season in. We had a great run. The box office numbers were good. Shout out to the company. Shout out to the Joyce. Shout out to Sin Gogolak and all of her amazing promotion and PR. But ultimately, it's a testament to you and Desmond and the strength and the belief in your dancers and your company and the vision that you guys have been able to. You're 27 years in, and we'll get into all of that. But I also want to show you really quickly. I found some stuff. When I
you were looking.
So sadly, I never got to dance with Complexions, although I did do your first work on Ailey. We'll get to that too. But I did sing with you guys with Carmen de Lavallade. Remember this?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Sculpture, Stretching the Limits, Sculpture in Motion. Yes, with Carmen de Lavallade. It was in Soho, and then we did it again at Hostos in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep. Didn't you go on tour with us too?
No, I never toured with you guys. I just did those 2 shows.
Okay.
Down in Soho and then in the Bronx. But just and gladly so. I mean, it was just an amazing, amazing experience. And then, do you remember Dwight? I mean, you guys, if you don't know Dwight Rhoden, seriously, go to the website. It's in my bio. Look at all that Dwight has done. But then I remember that I had this book, Dwight, Masters of Movement.
Oh, yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do. You said at the Ford, right?
2004.
2004. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
But seriously, though, you're in here with, like, I mean, obviously, Gregory Hines on the cover, but you're in here with, like, everybody. Ailey Pomare, you know, Lar. Alvin.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. You know, that book. Yeah. I think it's Rose Eichenbaum, right? Is the author of that? Yeah.
Let me see. Yes, Rose Eichenbaum.
Yeah, Rose Eichenbaum. I remember shooting for it. I was so honored. I was so honored that they asked me to do it. You know, I mean, what did you say? 2004. That's I don't know how many years. My math's not good, but it's it's a ways back. It's a ways back. Yeah.
You and I remember the book release, if I remember correctly, was at Milk Studios in Soho, in Chelsea. I believe.
You're right, girl. You got a good memory.
I mean,
I'm like, wait a minute.
Sometimes.
What? Yeah.
and Hugh Jackman was there. I'll never forget. He was like over there, and I was like, "Ooh, girl, this Hugh Jackman, my friend." Just all excited just to be in the room.
Yeah, he was a hunk then too. Just as he is now. He was
such a supporter. So once again, thank you, Dwight, for doing this. Happy almost Black History Month and almost Black History Month and all of the above. And I'm just so glad we're talking and that you guys are still forging a path with the company, with the dancers. I'm just so proud of you guys. You guys know that. And so just to give you guys a little backstory, so I joined Ailey in '91. And Dwight and Desmond were already clearly stars in the company, part of the company. But I got to meet Dwight and Desmond I'd seen them on stage. I was a huge fan. I was, starstruck, of course. But then I got to meet you guys in 1990. I was representing Philadelphia at the Black Dance Conference when it came to Dayton. See?
Go ahead. Go.
Dayton, Ohio.
Yes.
And anyway, so I'm backstage and I got to meet Dwight and Desmond like formally. And I was blown away. You guys were so gracious and so humble. And I'm looking at you guys like, you're these Alvin, Ailey men, these stars. And I was just so humble. And then to get to work with you guys next year, the following year, and it was just like family. And you guys
Yeah.
just helped usher me into this new huge company, and I just felt so at home. So I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely. Those were the days. I mean, I remember when you got in. I mean, first of all, you look like one of my sisters. You look
Mm-hmm.
like the sister that's right next to me. I always say you look like her. Her name is Brenda. But
Mm-hmm.
you just look like my family. But we actually just had a good energy together. I remember it. And I also just loved your dancing. And so
Oh,
I knew if I ever, because I'm always conspiring, even then I was looking at dancers and thinking about, what can I create for them? I
mm.
was looking at you and your quality, and I was thinking like almost right away. I saw you at Danko, because if you hadn't gotten in Ailey, you probably would have got a phone call from me
Which was
to do some
amazing.
project on the side or something. I would have been coming up with something. But that's how it is for me. It's like I see dancers and I see them moving a certain way, or it can't even be about their movement, but like their vibe or their personality and like what they're giving off. And I'm always thinking about,
Mm-hmm.
wow, they would be really good at X, Y, and Z or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Working
I'm
with
just
you and
so
Ailey, yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Getting the opportunity to dance in your first piece with Alvin Ailey, I think
Hmm.
I was already sort of, in Judy's, eyes. But I
Yeah.
think when you selected me, and we'll get to that, but I want to go back.
Yeah.
Selecting me to dance in your first ballet for Ailey, I think set me up, and people really then took a second look at me like, oh, who's that girl? So 'cause that was a big deal, your
Yeah.
first ballet for Ailey. So I have you to thank for just setting up my next roles after that, especially working with Ulysses. I mean, it was just, oh, it was so much. It was so much. But what I do want to ask you about, peeking at your bio. So Dwight, Dayton, Ohio. Okay, he's a Dayton boy.
What? Dayton, Ohio.
So
I
tell
have the
me,
twins still.
guys, maybe I knew this, but I didn't realize that you started dancing not until you were 17. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I was probably on the way to 18 because I was graduating. It was my senior year in
Mm-hmm.
high school.
Mm-hmm.
And again, many people have heard this story before, but I just had no idea what dance was or that it existed as a career path for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Sherry Sparkle Williams from DCDC
Yes.
we used to be in dance contests at the in certain places, and she like walked over to me and she told me that I needed to think about dancing or at least come over to the studio and see what's going on because she thought I was good, but I was just social
Mm-hmm.
dancing. The music came on and we were just hitting it, just dancing. No, exactly, right? All of that,
Right.
oh God, yeah. But we were just doing all of that, and then I loved moving. I was already making up these routines with props and all kinds of
Oh.
stuff. And it was hand dancing. So it was like disco because
Oh, wow.
I'm that old. But it was, Donna Summer and Diana Ross, the boss, and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So we were hitting it. We were hitting it every day. I didn't know. And then she brought me over to DCDC and I was like, oh my God, this exists in an organized, disciplined art form that I just had no sense of, of course my sisters took ballet, but I didn't take ballet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. I mean, they weren't really serious. It was just probably something my mother, she had 5 kids. So by
Mm.
a single mother with 5 kids. So she was just like, yeah, go take ballet. Get you do something, keep you busy.
Yes. So DCDC, for you guys that don't know, is Dayton Contemporary Dance Company, formidable.
Yeah.
And so did you have to audition or did she just bring you in?
No, so what happened was they were looking for men and they were recruiting men from the football teams of the high schools.
Oh my gosh.
So I came in, okay, and anybody who knows me back in the day, I'm like slight and very skinny, and just like a string bean. So I walked in with all of these football players, and we all trained together at first. Well, clearly I was different than them, and she saw that I was serious about dancing, and I mean, I really fell in love immediately. I started taking classes at all the I started taking class and doing everything. And then
Mm.
she invited me to the second company. And a few of those guys, they fell off. You know, they weren't really serious. But then a few of those guys, actually, one of them I know became a professional dancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually ended up, you know, kind of being fed into the second company. And within 6 months, I was in the first company, not because I was good. Being they needed men. And I was musical and
Yeah.
I could move, but I had no technique.
No.
Zero. I was always always falling down and, you know, not really knowing what I'm doing. But I'm gonna tell you something, and anybody who remembers me back then, I just was one who would fake it till I made it. I would just,
Mm.
you turn on the music and I'm gonna pretend. I will perform for you, but I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Not like the other
Now, did you
dancers.
have a natural? Yeah, yeah. I mean, right. You're a natural mover. I mean, I consider myself. I mean, obviously, to get into the companies that you subsequently got into, and of course, Dayton, you had to get to some level of technique. But I never considered myself an Uber technician ever. And but I had a movement quality that, you know, I was amazing. So I think that's what carried me mostly. And so, but you have a natural. I mean, you're flexible. Like your hips are open. Like even in the episodes clip that I posted earlier today, like you're in that second position. Am I wrong? I feel like you had stretch.
I'm not that flex. I'm not. I'm agile. I'm very, 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 very agile. But like, you know, there's a limit to my flexibility. I'll put it like that. But because I was so long, you know,
Yes.
Desmond and I were laughing about it. Now, Desmond knows Desmond is what he could do everything.
Everything.
So, of course, he and I were, you know, best friends, you know, boyfriends at one point. And we would inspire each other. I had a little bit more like ballet technique by the time we met, but he had the ground, he had the performance quality, and he had all that flexibility and everything.
Yeah.
So we were like helping each other out. He was stretching, like getting me to pull it together. But so many people always thought that I was a flexible dancer, and I really wasn't. I was just long, and I always tell dancers now, it's the choices you make.
Right.
You know, it's the choices. It's kind of like I knew early on that you had to like make the choices that would best suit the moment. And of course, I didn't learn it all in once. I made some bad choices, of course, too. But you figure it out because I knew what I wanted to look like. And that's really important. I knew what I wanted to be as an artist. But you have to go through, there's nothing that will, you know, you need the mileage. Right. You have to dance, you have to be choreographed on, you have to train, you have to do it right, you have to do it wrong. You know, you have to go through the challenge. There's no shortcuts.
No.
And
that's what I remember about your dancing, but also, but when we talk about length, I mean, your arm, your wingspan, Dwight, is just still, even when I see pictures of you, which I have some that I might pull up a little bit later, but just seeing your arms, I mean, I just love the length of your arms. And you really are all leg. Like, you have some long, I mean, you have a beautiful torso, but you have really long legs, too. How tall are you?
There's hardly no torso there at all. It's just all legs.
Yeah, right. Because you're like 6'1" too, right?
I'm really only 6 feet and getting shorter.
Okay, me too. I keep trying to say I'm 5'5.5", but really, so I went to my doctor like yesterday. They were like, "No, girl, you 5'4". Get over it. Like, stop it, stop it." Okay.
I know. I always feel like it. I always feel like I'm taller, but I'm really not. I'm about 6 feet.
But you're so long, so that's, you know, it was so beautiful. But so then I'm reading. So after Dayton Contemp, you went to, which of course, when you were in the company, it was Geraldine Blunden.
Yes.
Right? And then subsequently after her passing, her daughter took over.
Right.
Debbie Blunden. Just amazing. I mean, when I think about it, when I think about most of my dancer friends, you know, we're all sort of from that same sort of pantheon of Black female artistic directors. I mean, even though Judy wasn't the original, but then we ended up dancing under her.
Oh, yeah.
Joan Myers Brown, Lula Washington, who just got like an amazing grant, some grant money.
Yeah.
Geraldine, Ann out in Dallas Black Dance Theater, Cleo Parker. Yes. I mean, they were all there at that Black Dance Conference.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting at their feet, you know?
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me.
I mean, the strong lineage of Black women that really have run these contemporary and modern companies.
Yes.
You know, not enough has actually been done to tribute these women, because they are like crusaders for especially for African American young dancers.
Yes.
I'm going to sit here and say that I never paid $1 to train, because I was in the right place at the right time. I was a man. They needed men. She believed in me, and she knew that I didn't really have the the money to really do that. I mean, I could have probably paid for it, but thankfully I didn't have to.
Yeah.
And she brought me along. And then
Yes.
Joe Myers Brown she mentored me as well. She
Did
was
she
always, yeah, I mean, when I say mentored, I mean, she would come to my performances and I would hear from her after them at Ailey. She would let me know. And she was also always so supportive of my choreography.
But they let you know.
She lets me know, and it was, she let me know how I did, and,
whether you wanted it or not, or whether you liked it or not.
And Geraldine Blunden and all of them.
Yeah, we should also add to that mix Sylvia Waters.
So Sylvia was so, and Mary Barnett, who used to be the first rehearsal director for Ailey when I got in the company.
Yeah.
All of those people, Masazumi Chaya, all of those people really, really were supportive of me and my work, always. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a more, supportive, system behind me telling me that I could do it once I got to New York, Yes.
But so before you came to New York, though, how long were you at the Ballet Jazz De Montreal?
I was there for 2.5, almost 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
How was that and living in Canada?
Well, it was amazing. I loved it there. And I actually really loved the company because I had met one of my mentors, Ulysses Dove, in Ohio, because he trained us there in Dayton. But we did Bad Blood, which is one of his beautiful, beautiful works. So there I got a chance to do that. And really, Le Ballet Jazz was a lot different then. It was almost like a quote unquote ballet company that did ballets to jazz music. But we also did all kinds of things. It started to stretch out there as well. But that was the first exposure to even partnering a girl on point, was in Le Ballet Jazz.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And when Ulysses came, he was all over me like, you better, because I would do the opening solo. And I remember on my opening night in Australia, I think I told you this before, all over the place. It was like, because it was nothing but pirouettes. It was just turns in a spotlight. I had never had a solo yet. I never had a solo.
Oh,
I was always, And then he gave me that. And of course, opening night, it wasn't that great. And then the following night, I pulled it together because he took me to dinner after the show. And he told, I think I was like blessed out for at least an hour. But in Ulysses' way, it was supportive. But he also was looking at me straight on, pull it together.
All right. And Tony Carlos got sugar footing.
Right. You can do this.
Right.
But it was tough love. And I so appreciate it because I from that solo is where I became something else. I was able to move to the next level.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, I could have had that trajectory, even with Philadelphia. Like I came in just raw, flat-footing it, whatever. Okay, just big old.
Yeah, you're so crazy. You were not flat-footed.
Just raw. And actually, they posted a video of me dancing from, I guess I was 18, and which is great. I was already in leading roles by that point. It was a piece by Jean Hill Sagon. Jean Hill Sagon got me gathered. He really got me gathered. But in the piece, I don't know why no one told me, but for y'all that don't know what a kitchen is, the kitchen is this back. So my kitchen was all out in the back. I'm like, what the hell? It was like all fuzzy, and then I had this old bud tacked on. I was like, really, y'all? Y'all let me go on stage like that? But all good. Okay, so what I'm curious about though, that I saw in your bio, 1985, when you auditioned for Ailey. Now, had you auditioned for the company before?
I auditioned 3 times. Yeah, for Ailey.
Oh, wow.
And actually, it was 86 that I got in. And so in 86, right at the tail end of 86, I had already known Alvin from, we had done streams of ballet in DC. So I met him then. We had one rehearsal.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we had one rehearsal. Now, I wasn't ready for that ballet then. And I don't know that I was ever ready for it, to be honest, because it's a hard one to me.
It is.
But yeah, this was, by the time I got in, it was my third audition. I think I told you there were 250 men in the room. Not all at the same time, but there were 250 men at the audition.
Yeah.
And there were 2 slots. And both of those slots went to 2 guys from Ohio, which was Raymond Harris and myself. But 15 minutes into the audition, he was talking to me, you know, calling me out by name, Alvin was. And he said to me, "Okay, Dwight, you've got the job. Just please don't do that turn again." There was a turn that I kept biting it. You know, I just kept falling out of it. I couldn't get it. I was mortified.
Right.
But of course, you know, in hindsight, nobody cares that you're falling out of a turn. But when you're under pressure, yeah. I really wanted the job. I was like, this is it. I'm not trying again. This is it. Yeah. And with that kind of attitude, I was 150%. Desmond was demonstrating, intimidating us all. Because he was like, I don't know, he might have been 17 or 18. He was the youngest man in the company. And we were all looking at him like,
like, really?
Like, great. But yeah, it was the third time and I was in. I remember I had to go downstairs. I had to go downstairs, get on the phone in the phone booth, call my mother, Collect, to tell her that I got the job.
Oh my God, I get this. So similar to my journey, it took me 3 times to get in. My third audition, which was at the building on 211th West 61st. The people leading the audition were Desmond and Donna Hash, right? Miss Bash, honey. And I remember Judy had Donna just get in the middle of the floor and do a tilt.
Oh God.
Ladies, that's what I want. I was like, I mean, luckily I could. Okay. But all I'm saying is.
Right.
But
yes, you could.
In my audition, I was falling all over the place and just, not on purpose, but it happened. And I was just like, whatever. You get into the company and your first year, because now, I mean, you know Alvin, you know some of the dancers. Do you remember like some of the first things you learned going in? Like, was it like revelations like most of us learned first year going in?
Yeah, well, we were learning, Donald Byrd was the first. There was a ballet called Shards he was created. That was my first piece. And then Alvin was making a creation. It was called Opus McShan. So I was just happy for that. I was like, you know, very in the crowd, in the group dancing. But I was so happy to be able to at least have one creation with Alvin. Because he wasn't particularly well at that time, but it was wonderful to be in the room with him while he was making something. I mean, it was incredible. And then we had Shards, and then the rest, I can't remember what other ballets came in, but the rest was like learning revelations.
Yeah.
You know, all of the signature stuff, the river, all of that stuff started to come around.
Yeah. So, I mean, for a lot of us, especially the newer generation, you know, I mean, I got to meet Alvin once, and that was when the company, you guys were in town, and Aunt Joan, Miss Joan Myers Brown, threw the company a party, and I got to meet him there. But you know, it was heartbreaking for me to know that I would never work with him after we heard of his passing. And can you just tell us a little bit of just, you know, even when he was probably on the decline in health, but what it was just like working with him? And
I mean, he's one of the single most, people don't always know this, but he's like one of the single most important influences and people that I mark as somebody who really impacted my life as the dancer and artist I am. I hear myself now talk in the way that he might have talked to us, which is Alvin spoke in images. He was extremely smart. He was shady. He was beautiful. And when I say that with the greatest amount of love.
Yeah.
He would say something just kind of like this, and there would be a little sting at the end. Because my interpretation of him is the man was filled with so much love that even if he read you, he really still loved you and didn't want to, he wasn't trying to like break you down, but he also wanted to deliver a message.
Yes.
He was so colorful. Just so colorful. I mean, I remember him being outside. We were rehearsing a Tally Beatty work, and the company was moving from the studios on Broadway to the studios that you mentioned on 61st or 60th, whatever it was. And we were in rehearsal learning some ballet, and we had done, you know, something over and over and over, and I had pulled my groin. And so Tally, in Tally's way, who I love, somebody who's an hero in American dance, Tally Beatty. I mean, what the man, he was ahead of his time, Tally Beatty. People should know him. So then, you know, Tally looked at me and said, I marked it one time, only because my groin was killing me. It was a split jump or something. It was like a switch.
Oh, one of those
and he threw me out. He threw me out. And I don't get thrown out of rehearsal. I'm not that type. So I was devastated. So Alvin was out there on the couch, laid up with his feet up. In typical Alvin, he said, Dwight, what happened? I said, Tally threw me out. I just had to mark the switch leap. You know, I was young and devastated. And Alvin said, oh, don't worry, go get a coffee. He fired my whole company in 1968 when I was, you know, it was like he fired his whole company while he was rehearsing there. So.
Okay, so Tally, so I had my own experience with Tally because he did a lot of works on Philadelphia. And so that's why when I auditioned for Ailey, and one of the things they gave us in the audition was some Tally combo, I was like, oh, I got this, But we were in rehearsal. I forget what ballet we were working on, and Tally was not having it. We were just doing what he needed us to do. And he told us to take 5. And so we're sitting in the rehearsal studio waiting for him to come back. And like literally 30, 40 minutes had gone by. We're kind of like, well, is he coming back? Like, what is happening? And Joan came into the room and said, Tally is on the train going back to New York. What did you guys do? Like, he just left us sitting in the studio like, F y'all, I'm done. He was on his way back to New York.
He was on it. That sounds like Tally. And to be honest with you, that sounds like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but all of those iconic choreographers and directors in that time. I mean, we also have to think about what they had to do to get to where they were.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I
mean, Alvin paved the way for them to be able to have a place to do their work, but all the people that came even before Alvin.
Yes.
You know? So by the time they showed up, they were tough. And they were rugged, you know, and I'm good. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays we have to be a little, you know, we have to be a little more gentle, I guess, you know, a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. I can get into if I agree with all of that or not. As you can see by my body language, I think we need things don't need to be, you know, things don't need to be abusive, but sometimes you have to call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? You have to say, is wrong and you need to pull it together.
Right. I've been around, I mean, so you guys welcomed me into the company as an administrative, you know, person in 2014. So I really got to be around, which I love doing, by the way. And just being in the rehearsal more, just being really around, seeing the work. And yeah, I've seen you let the dancers have it. But it was always, like you just said, tinged with, you guys can do this. So you're not giving me I can see you're not giving me 100%. Why are you, it's not like you say you're wasting they're wasting your time, but you just know there's more there. And that's what I love about watching your choreography, watching your company, because, and we'll get to this too, even with all the technical proficiency, which is stratospheric. If you've never seen Complexions Ballet, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because the technique on these dancers is stratospheric. But combined with that, there's the emotion, there's the acting, there's the torso, because, you know, we gotta have torso. So these kids are having their legs bent behind their necks, but also the torsos are moving. and everything else. So you really held on to that and instilled that in your dancers, which I love. So
yeah.
I just want to ask too, now you started Complexions Ballet in 1994. And I remember you told me that Alvin encouraged you and Desmond to step out and create on your own, right?
He did. He was very encouraging because he was watching some of my work that I had done in the school, and he saw one of my very first premieres. But he was always that way. I mean, that's how we spent the first day back at rehearsal when we came back, is we sat down on the floor and talked about what we had done over the summer. He wanted to know what you were doing. He wanted to know that you were involved. And he was one of those kind that encouraged us to do outside work. In the a year and a half to 2 years I had with him before he passed away, he was a man who was very, very, very generous like that. He was, you know, I always think that if he was around right now, he would have been, I don't even know what he would be creating. You talk about Black Lives Matter. Right. Oh my God, it would have been an opus. You know what I mean? It would have been, it would have been a thing. But yeah, I mean, he was so rich in what he had in his mind, and he was kind. He was really kind, kind-hearted, you know, and had such compassion for, you know, for dancers, but also for the art form and for humanity and for what we were going to say as people.
Yeah, and even to your point about, you know, him letting the dancers, I mean, letting the dancers seems like the wrong way to say it, but just encouraging the dancers to create outside of the company. Like even talking with our lovely Sarita Allen, and she would say how he would encourage her to take projects and go off and see the world, just come back, you know, go and do stuff.
Go and do stuff.
Yeah,
and come back.
Starting your company, I'm really curious how you sort of gravitated towards Complexions Contemporary Ballet and the influences to create a company of women on point, but also flat, but the point work, how do you get to that point work?
Well, I mean, I love the point shoe. I love ballet. And my aesthetic and I don't want to say my comfort zone, but how I feel my voice is through classical ballet, you know, almost turned on its head, if I could say that. I like to take the form of ballet with all of my modern and contemporary training and jazz and musical theater and bring it. I don't know. I want it all together. In truest form, I believe in the fusion. You know, I feel like I'm a collagist almost. I like to, you know what I mean? I like to bring things from different places and find a new way to realize it. You know, trying to find it, and I want to unfold it and fold it and look at it differently. You know, I don't want to do what has been done before, although nothing is new. But I'm always looking at a way to communicate something in a new way.
But I think also too, I wrote it down somewhere here, a quote of yours: "My hope is to shed light, provoke thought, entertain, and move through dance." And I think sometimes in concert dance, when we hear that, because Alvin did too, Alvin was clear that he still also wanted to entertain. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing cheap about that, you know. So can you speak to that?
And I know you know this, Danny. My world is, I used to make up routines because that's what I did. I made up routines. They lasted 2 minutes in the middle of the dance floor for my audience, and that was my first audience. So that's how I felt it. I was performing before I even know what performance was. So there's a part of me that loves it, and honestly, even when I was doing company work on the side, I always did commercial stuff. I would always go and dance. I did a lot of television stuff and Cirque du Soleil stuff when I was in Canada. I love the circus too, by the way. I love the circus. I love magicians. My grandfather was a magician.
No way.
Yeah, he was a magician. So there was all this, you know, and I was an altar boy. So I was already performing up there when I should have been praising God, but I was looking at how, you know, the pomp and circumstance of the church service, which is so wrong, but I'm just being honest. I thought it was
That's
cool to
real,
be up
though.
there in a robe with this gold chalice and the presentation and the walking and the music.
The theatrics.
Yeah, look, I believe in God, so that's one thing. So we that was there, but I did like the pageantry of all of that.
Well, that makes so much sense to me, because your works. Let's get into Complexions now. Like, your works are epic. Even your smaller works are just epic in scale, in movement. Like, I even think about going back to Frames. Even your first ballet with Ailey, me, Desmond, Renee Robinson, Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
I mean, kids.
That is one for you.
Okay, but and you still owe me a videotape of that, by the way. But I'm gonna say, but if anybody watching saw Frames, there were words coming down out of the ceiling. There were curtains. There were chairs. There were roses. We were blindfolded. We were dancing blindfolded, y'all. Listen. We were dancing blindfolded in a strobe light, jumping on chairs. Okay. But to this day, I'm so honored, because one of the reviews that I have saved somewhere is that they said that Dwight Rhoden used 4 of the company's best dancers. And I just remember being like, thank you, Dwight, for that. Because again, I felt like it set me up to be noticed in a different way. And then, Ulysses, I think Ulysses came to the tech rehearsal. And next thing I know, I'm being cast in the restaging of Vesper. So I thank you for that. And so.
Yeah, it was, and I mean, I can't say this enough. For me, it's about, I don't know, I want to say that I create things to talk about the things that matter to me. There's a huge part of me that creates things just for the artist, because they really, that's what I, quote unquote, get off on. That's what I love, is the fact that I'm actually crafting something for these people that makes them go like that. That's exciting to me.
Yeah.
I'm not on the stage anymore. I had my time. It was great. It was quick. It was short, but it was full. And what I love now is watching people. I'm here and going.
Yeah.
Because you can just see. You can see in young artists their light. You can see their vibrancy, and sometimes they just need the permission.
Yeah,
they just need the permission to go like that. Yeah. And the opportunity, and it's my job. I feel it's my job, and even when I go to places like San Francisco Ballet, where there's a company of 80-something dancers, there's a way to. I still feel a responsibility to do something that's for them. I was in Atlanta with Atlanta Ballet. I felt a responsibility to do something for them. There's a dancer on here right now. His name is Jordan. Jordan Leeper.
Jordan Leeper, yes, to Charlotte.
Yeah, this was a young man who I don't even know when I met him. I met him in Charlotte, and he was so special. But I felt like he needed to be shown. So I put him in my ballet, and then he was in the company before you know it. Because sometimes directors just need to, see what's possible. You have to show them within their, within that moment. And that was in Charlotte. And then I met him again. He's also come and danced with Complexions.
Yes.
So it goes on. I don't even know what I'm saying, but I'm just saying dancers are the SHIT. No,
you can say it. And you're right, though. We just have to encourage them and give them the opportunities and the take chances on them too. And I felt like with you, and I've said this before, my essence in Ailey, I guess I could say it that way. I think Judy saw me a particular way, and that's fine because it worked for me. I got to cry. She saw me as Earth Mama, and that's all. Wade in the water umbrella. But you saw me even in my body type. You saw me romantically. And so all the works that I did in Ailey that had like a romantic partnership to it didn't come from the repertory pieces or Judy. It was, choreographers like you, even Donald Byrd, when I was in the lead and Dance at the Gym at one point. And because you saw the womanliness Can I say that right? And
Yeah.
yeah, let's put that out there. And I appreciated that, but also, you know, being very clear, like, you know, pull up in them shenanigans, Danny, pull up the knees in them shenanigans.
You know, I'm not gonna let
Pull
you
up that foot
slide.
and that
I would not let you
turn.
slide because I don't want you to look bad. You gotta look good.
No. Yes, exactly. So over 80 ballets and counting for Complexions, but some of the other companies you've choreographed for, I mean, come on, Aspen Santa Fe, Mariinsky Ballet with The Great Gatsby you did overseas, which is an amazing production with your company as well as dancers from there. San Francisco Ballet, you just mentioned, Joffrey, New York City Ballet, Dancing of Harlem, even Philadelphia, TV, So You Think You Can Dance. So just, I mean, Dwight, like you're my friend. Like look, like a few weeks ago, guys, we were on the phone. We literally giggled and laughed for 2 hours. This is how close we are. But then I look at like all that you've done, and I'm just like, oh my God, my friends rock, you know? And then so also going back to the entertainment, which is, to me is not a bad word, but you have used a lot of popular music in your works. One of your biggest hits, as we know, is Stardust, David Bowie. Oh my God. Let me tell you, what was it, 2018?
It premiered in 2016, but yeah, it got to New York. Well, it got to New York a little later though.
Yeah, but that season alone, people were coming back more than once or twice, you know, to see it again
Yeah.
and again. So, I mean, how do you get away from a ballet like that? And how do you, you know, you want to sell tickets, but at the same time, I know you've said this, you want to move on to the next thing. Like then you had Woke, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Very political.
Very political. Very political.
Like,
And the latest one, Love Rocks, which is Lenny Kravitz. If you think about popular music.
yes.
And it's because I worked with Lenny. He was one of my first commercial gigs when I was trying to really make my way in the commercial world. You know, a lot of times people will equate, like you said, by using popular music, that it becomes less than, you know, sophisticated or dignified. But,
yeah,
you know, someone like David Bowie, which we all know, is masterful in his work. I think Lenny Kravitz, masterful. Prince, masterful. You know, and even people that you might think that, oh, okay, well, you know, their music is great, but sometimes it's just about there's access points. They access something in that pop tune that you can't get off your mind. You can't get the beat off your mind. You can't get the words out of your head. And it is okay. And it's also a way sometimes to reach to a different group of people in the audience and bring them to your party, you know, bring them in.
I mean, just like, you know, Alvin's famous quote, you know, dance came from the people and should be delivered back to the people. You know, make it accessible, make it so people want to come, make it so that people don't feel like I don't understand this and what's going on, you know, all this elitism that comes around. But also one of our other main influences, Ulysses Dove, who, what's the quote, nothing to prove, everything to share.
Yes, that's how we start every show.
Yeah.
I brought that to my company, and Desmond and I brought that into our company. That's how we begin every show. We're in a circle and we do that. Because, you know, it's like you have to go out there because there's so much pressure when you know, when you can feel that, and young people feel that. And, you know, every show is important, every show, because someone is sitting in that seat and they came to be transported. And our job is to take them on that journey. It's really, and I know people think, oh, you know, it's so cliche. Yes, no, it's for real though. Curtain comes up. You know, that's why I believe so highly in dancers being invested in the work from back in the studio. So once, you know, that's where it happens, and we migrate to the stage, and by then they embody it. It's supposed to be there.
That's right.
And then you deliver. And I try to support my dancers so that they feel ready. You know, time is, you always feel like you want more time, but it's all about the support, making sure they're good to go. Sometimes that equates in a little tough love, but it also is about really, really making sure that they are coming from an authentic place. And, you know, I work at that all the
Yes.
time. All the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. No, I love that. I see it. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been with you now like 7 seasons backstage in my little company manager office, which is so awesome. Um, so we're almost at the hour mark. Do you have a little bit more time to spend with me? Can we go a little
Yeah.
bit over 6?
Yeah.
Have time?
Yeah.
Because I really want to get to also because we touched on woke, which was very political, and I loved woke.
Mhm.
You know, I'll just say it like you are 2 Black men. We talked about this running a dance company, a ballet company, in America, and everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Do you like when you walk through these worlds, when you walk into these rooms like San Francisco Ballet, you know, like how aware of your Blackness are you? Like for me, I know when I go to some of these conferences for arts presenter conferences, a lot of times I'm the only sister in the room. You know, I'm just like, what? And so do you feel your Blackness, or do you, and like, I'm Dwight, you know, how do you feel like what's been going on has changed your outlook?
I feel like it's a little bit more elevated right now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more that way, but I always feel my Blackness. I always feel my Blackness.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't lead with that because I just am.
Right.
I am. I don't lead with that. I lead with my work.
Yes.
I've always led with my work and who I am. But I'll be honest with you, it has to be in this world, I've had to really, really knock down the doors. My work on ballet companies, which is you know, the majority of my work is done on ballet companies. So inadvertently, a lot of them are very, you know, not very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
So I have always had to prove myself. I'll be honest with you, it is a little bit tougher for men of color, women of color to get into that world and to be received. What I'm seeing though is I'm seeing that change. But when I was coming about, I had to bang down the door a bit.
Yeah.
I did. Because they weren't really, it wasn't really open to me at the time. But I didn't take no for an answer. Now, you know me, Danny. I'm still going to be like, no. You know, back then I used to send like 100 tapes to people.
Wow.
A bunch of writing, I mean, if some of those people were to bring up some of that stuff, I sent these long letters because I wanted them to know that, you know, give me a chance. I know that I have something to say in this field. And don't let my history of, okay, so I came from the Ailey company, let your eyes open a bit.
Yes.
Eventually I got in.
Yes.
And now, you know, the dances are usually never the problem. It's just the organization opening the doors. Once I got in the room, it's all dance.
Okay. Right.
But, you know, I certainly wanted to see more people of color in all of these places. And, you know, I'm hoping that we are moving in that direction.
I mean, it's still slow going, as we know.
Yes.
I see organizations making changes or trying to at least hiring, you know, people of color to run certain departments. I feel like I've had this conversation with Chris Rudd actually, who has been having conversations with Kevin McKenzie over at AP.
Yeah.
And really trying to push the envelope. And I just hope it continues and that we're not stuck in this place of, okay, well, we did it, so are you happy now?
Yeah, yeah.
Like even with George Floyd, I say this all the time, you know, God rest his soul, but all the organizations that popped up their, you know, black squares in their comments after it all happened, and okay, that now we're almost a year into this, what are we doing? How are we making people of color visible? How are we supporting them? Speaking of support, like you said that word earlier, if you're just joining us or at some point, the link to the company's page is in my bio. So please support the company if you can. Obviously, we're still in this horrific pandemic. And I do want to talk about, you know, the fact that you guys have this premiere next week. We cannot not talk about that.
Yes.
Black is Beautiful, snatched back from the edges. Okay, kids, snatched back from the edges.
Danny, you know me.
So it premieres next week on your YouTube channel, your new YouTube channel.
New YouTube channel, and also the Facebook page.
And Facebook page.
Facebook,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yes. So that's February 3rd, 8:30, Complexions Contemporary Ballet, the premiere, the first
Of
of a
Black
few
is,
installments,
yeah,
right, of dance
yeah,
films. Black
yeah.
is Beautiful. And just, I mean, in the middle of COVID, and how are you bringing the dancers together? I mean, obviously, touring has been decimated and all of the above. So, you know, obviously, kudos to you and Desmond for being able to keep your dancers active or active in the space or talking to them. How did it come
Yeah.
out?
What we're doing now is we're currently offering, like, we have class a couple times a week for the company, certain people live, and there's always a capacity issue, so we always can only have like 8 dancers in a room, and then we rotate out, and the rest are online taking class. But throughout these months, we've been working on this film series, and we would really do it safely, of course, only a couple at a time in rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as you were mentioning, it's called Snatch Back from the Edges. It's a film series. There are 4 films.
Mm-hmm.
The first film that is going to premiere next Wednesday is called Black is Beautiful.
Yes.
And it was a piece of poetry, spoken word, that I found, that I just ran across. I called the poets, talked to them. We really vibed really well.
And they're in the UK, right? They're UK based.
They're in the UK. Terrell Lewis is one of the leading poets on this project. There are 4 of them. Mm-hmm. And we just had a ball, and he said, absolutely, create to it, do it.
Wow.
Wonderful. So that's what that is. And we have 3 films in the coming months that'll roll out: The Wrecking Ball, Bullet in the Chamber, and the final one is called Next Question.
Yes.
So they're all short films, but this one coming up, Black is Beautiful, is really, I don't know, it comes from my heart. It's like an appreciation piece for my people.
Yes.
But not negating all of the struggles and that continue.
Yes.
That we've been through, but also that continue. And to take a moment just to say the power, the majesty, and the beauty of Black people is just undeniable. Let's say hurrah for this for a minute. Let's celebrate this for a minute.
Yeah,
it's 10 minutes.
Honestly,
yeah, it's 10 minutes long.
Right.
I'm sorry. And I hope everyone gets a chance to see it. I love doing it because it's a different medium and it's film, but the kids are dancing. Yeah.
So I posted a preview of it on my page. So if you guys are on, if you're following me on Danny G NYC, you can see a preview, like a 40-second clip preview of the work. But also obviously follow Complexions Contemporary Ballet on their pages. And I can't wait to watch it. We'll do a little watch party. And the beautiful Larissa, that's my girl. Larissa.
Oh yeah, she's all in through it. Oh, I wanted to say also, Danny. So that night, we're calling it it's called the world premiere of Black is Beautiful, but it's also we're doing a mini benefit. It doesn't cost anything to go. You will be prompted to donate if you can, but please show up because we have some special guests. Terrell Lewis is going to be speaking, who is one of the poets.
Oh,
he's going to talk about he's going to be talking about his inspiration. Christina Johnson is hosting the evening.
Christina Johnson.
Christina. Desmond will be speaking. And we also have a special guest speaker. Misty Copeland will be introducing our film. So we have a really beautiful evening. It's short. We won't keep you long. It's about 30 minutes, 35. I don't know yet. We're putting it together. About 35, 40 minutes. It's not even an hour long. So
yeah, that's good. No, 30 minutes is good because people are computer zoomed out. Even today, and also I'm going to ask you something else too, because even today I was on and thank you for that. So guys, remember February 3rd, I'll be posting about it. 8:30, Complexions YouTube and Facebook. Write it down. And get your wallets out. I was on a conference today, like all day long. It's called Wavelength. It's part of Global Fest, and just had it playing in the background. But one of the things that struck me was, how can presenters, which I am now, I have been now for like, this is my 15th season with Summer Stage.
Oh my
Child.
gosh. Where has the time gone?
I mean, I still love what I do,
I
obviously.
remember when you started. Yeah, I remember when you
Do
started.
you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Long
That's
time
right,
ago.
2006, because you were guys one of the first people I called. I was like, look, y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. Can y'all please come do my first season? I don't know what the hell. But still there, loving it. And I really, really want to stay long enough. I mean, not that I'm planning on leaving, but who knows
Yeah.
what the hell.
Right.
But I do want to stay long enough to see the festival return. I would love to see
Yes.
the festival return. You know, I mean, I have my own dreams and aspirations for my life, clearly. But I do want to see the company, the organization get back on stage, so to speak. But one of the things that struck me in the conference today was how presenters are dealing with artists. So you as an artistic director, what do you want presenters to know going forward, like in terms of contracting and force majeure and all that madness? I mean, like for me, I sadly just had to cancel all my artists. And because we have these force majeure clauses, you know, we weren't liable to pay their fees, which to me, sorry to say this out loud, I hope I don't get in trouble, but it sucked, you know, as an artist myself, but then to have to then make those calls. So what do you want us as presenters to know?
You know, it's so tricky because it's COVID, and I know many of the theaters themselves and the presenter themselves are, you know, they're bleeding at the gills too. We've had everything canceled, and we just, you know, everything keeps moving further into the year. And I guess what it is that, you know, I think we have to be smart about this. I think once we get back to live performance, we have to be smart about it. And you know, I'll be honest with you, Jenny, I don't know what the answer is. I mean, we have forfeited all income from all of the touring, so we've received none since March. So everything we bring in as an organization really amounts to any of the programs like the one next week that we will do. And any of the fundraising we do in other ways. Otherwise, I mean, and we're not the only one. All of these companies are really, really struggling. So I want to say, when we are able to get back out there, I hope that they really book a lot of dance, a lot of theater, a lot of music, because we are the last ones here on the totem pole to get, you know what I mean? Like we can't, and rightly so, we cannot bring 300 people into a space and look at a show because it's not safe. But, you know, we need some help to bring this industry back. And I'm hopeful that the people in the high places are thinking about that. I do see some things coming out, a few grants and things, but the performing arts pay special attention to what we are doing. Like,
what do you, this is now philosophical, but like this time, obviously, again, I always say this, I've been so blessed to work from home and just really evaluate where I see myself, how I want to deal in my relationship with people, just what's important, you know, like cleaning up my life. This has made everyone just pause. And for me, at least, clean up my life. Has this changed your thought process? How you deal with your dancers? How you deal with your partner, the beautiful Clifford? Hey, Clifford! Just all of it. You know, your family. How you when we do come back, like, is there a work that you're going to be burning to do on stage? You know.
I mean, I have to tell you, this time has really, I think it has really made me a little bit more patient, but it's also made me more thoughtful, more grateful. I'm more grateful. It makes me look at the people in my life differently, you know, in terms of my appreciation for that. And also, even just sitting here with you tonight and you know, talking about my accomplishments and all of that, I'm humbled by all of that. I don't even sit down to smell the roses ever, to be honest. And, you know, I'm very, very touched by the fact that you're mentioning them. I have a platform, and I'm more inspired than ever to like take my seat at the table.
Yes.
I feel empowered, if I can say that. I feel more empowered as a Black man, as a choreographer, and as an artist. As an artist, because this world does not function without artists. It just doesn't.
Right. It doesn't.
It is the system that makes us all go, you know? So I'm feeling more and more, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I want this vaccine.
Oh.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I want to get back to it. I am so, you know, but I am definitely different. I will never be the same.
Right.
I will never be the same. And I'm okay with that. It's a lesson.
Yeah. I feel, someone, hey, look, someone said, say it again. That's right. Like I feel, I don't know if it's because I'm in my 50s now, but it's all of it. It's this year. It's, I feel much more courageous. I feel, you know, there's no time to waste, because again, we've all been faced with our at least most of us have get our thinking this way. You know, we've been faced with our mortality in this year. Like all of us, you know, today or tomorrow, God forbid, could like step outside and catch this awful virus, and you know.
Absolutely.
We gotta be clear.
We gotta be clear, and you know, it's like your family and the people. You know, I have my dad is 93 years old.
Yeah.
Sweetie. And you know, I'm just looking forward to like actually seeing him again, like face to face, because I won't go anywhere near him right now because it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, once, but
yeah, he's safe and he's good, but
I lost your volume. There you go.
Away? No, I'm here.
You're here, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's more like, you know, being able to appreciate the people that love you and that you love more.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. So, as I always do, because this conversation has been so great, I didn't want to be distracted by photos, but, you know, I go digging for photos. So, can I just bring in some... Wait, let me see if I can find them. First of all, my first season... Wait, come on, Dwight! My first season in the company, and look at us carrying on. I have a blonde wig on. You have a blonde wig on. Oh my, you can't see me right now. But that's hilarious, right? And then you with Carmen.
Oh, I love
just Carmen de Lavalla, just beautiful. Oh my God! And tell me what's going on with the Academy right now.
Oh, so the Academy is, you know, we just finished our fall program, and then we also had our winter intensive.
Yes.
And so coming up, we're going to have our pre-professional program. And
wonderful.
Yeah, we have our pre-pro coming up, and we will also be going into our summer programs. We are killing it, hopefully, with these programs.
Complexions, what is it? Complexions Contemporary Academy?
Complexions Dance Academy.
Right. So that's all on the website as well. And this is from Frames, our first ballet together.
Oh my God.
They're so small. I'm not sure. You know, Instagram changed their layout, and it looks really crazy. But this was one of the shows backstage with Summer Stage. This was actually 2010 when you guys came back.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, so this is me and you.
Oh, we dancing. Look at
Winter in Lisbon.
I'm about to snatch you up into a lift.
Yes, you are. Okay. The waistline was snatched, honey. And this you in rehearsal. I just love these pictures of you in rehearsal. There's one that I had that was so beautiful. It really showed your wingspan. I can't find it right now. But this is you in rehearsal, watching the dancers, having a moment to yourself. I mean, just... You know, you, Desmond, and Wendy Whalen, who we adore. Wendy Whalen.
Wendy is amazing.
She's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Look
in more ways.
Is that Gary behind you?
Oh my God, that's Gary. Yeah. I look like a crazy man. Yes.
Gary Jeter. Look at you, all beautiful there, all bald headed. And wait, this one is oh, there it is. This is a picture. Look at your arms, just gorgeous.
just
I
behind me, just way back.
just way back. And is this when you guys are working on The Great Gatsby? There's Clifford, beautiful Clifford Williams.
Yeah,
Working on
yeah.
The Great Gatsby, just awesome. Here's you and Sarita. What
Hmm.
was this that you Sarita was there for?
Sarita, well, Sarita danced with us for so many times, but I think this is one time she was coming in because she's the artistic advisor. I think she was
Yeah.
coming in to just take a look at the dancers and give them some feedback.
Yeah.
I believe this is when Eric Lewis, the pianist, was doing a premiere, was writing some music for a world premiere.
Eric Lewis, he's amazing. I actually I follow him on Instagram, and so I love watching his live streams, and he's just amazing. I've met so many wonderful people through you guys. And that one season you guys had Terrence Blanchard,
Oh yeah.
music, and I feel what was
Oh
it?
yeah.
There's one guy that you guys use a lot, but I can't remember his name right now. But the last thing I wanted to ask you about, so I know we talk about this a lot, but I need this reiterated. I need this spoken of again because, you've been criticized for, this is the last thing I'll ask you. You've been criticized for your, the way you use the body so extremely.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this. Billy Porter. Thank you, Christine Darge. And you said, where is it? Extreme. I don't apologize for using the body in extreme ways. And fast forwarding, it reflects the world around us. And I think part of that too, just like you said before, you want to, you're a creative and you want to see all that the body can do.
Mm-hmm.
And these kids today can do everything.
Yeah.
The men and the women, the bodies.
Absolutely.
I mean,
And it's like what they can do, what dancers can do right now, it just continues to get to be like more and more.
Yeah.
And I don't apologize for that because I try to be a barometer, or I try to be in touch, in tune with my world. Now I live in a big city, of course. We live in a big city. So, and I travel all the time.
Yes.
So it's kind of a world view. And my interpretation of the world is we are fast, we are intense, we are complicated. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a reflection that goes into my work. The extreme nature of using the body, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why is it, why do people, now I'm not talking about a gratuitous,
right,
things. I mean, there is something called taste.
right.
And I hope I have good taste.
You do.
I hope I use things in a tasteful manner.
Yeah.
I'm not going to apologize for pushing a dancer to his or her limit.
No.
Right. And oops. There goes the phone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that, we are really, really in a place now. And I'm even more like with this film, and when you see it, it's not so much about the body, but the mind and the soul are being pushed.
Yes.
They're being pushed. And yeah, the body is doing what it's doing there, but we're really talking about something that is very, very, there's an intensity to it, and there's also great power in it. There's great power in it. It has nothing to do with me. It's the subject matter.
Yes. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to tune in and watch it and all the subsequent films that you guys have.
Yeah.
I mean, so for our dancers that are out here watching, there's so many dancers watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this talk today, because Dwight's my heart and soul. Any words of encouragement just to continue getting through while we're shut down? It's so tough.
I can say this to the dancers out there. First of all, hi y'all.
Hi,
dancers, you just keep going and keep doing what you're doing, because when I am so, like, I tell Desmond, we were talking the other day, we are so like inspired by you guys still. I love how you are still creating. There's so much content out there. You can't go in the studio like you used to. You can't go on the stage like you used to.
Right.
But you're not stopping.
That's right.
I'm watching you take class. I'm watching these creative projects, all this film work. I'm watching you showcase your work on. I love it.
Yes.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop. And I thought to myself, would I have been this kind of dancer? And I thought to myself, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have too. You know, you
I
think about
even
it
think
for
about
a
us
minute.
in Ailey together. Yeah, I mean, I think about when we were in Ailey together, you, me, and Desmond going around these cities and just doing photo shoots, just because.
Just because
we were always.
We didn't have the internet though.
And
Can
you imagine if we had Instagram? No. Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I didn't have the internet. I was a little too crazy back then, so.
They would have been so sick of us. My friends are sick of me now. Well, I can't wait. So remember, guys, go to the link in my bio, visit ComplexionContemporaryBallet.org, or the ComplexionDance.org. The link is in my bio. Please support. Tune in Wednesday, February 3rd at 8:30 on the Complexions YouTube page, as well as their Facebook page. Give what you can. It's important. I mean, 27 years in. 30 is going to be amazing. Oh my God. We got to start planning that 30th anniversary gala. Come on, 30. Come on, 30. We can do it, Dwight. We can do it. We can do it.
We can do it.
We're going to do it. Well, I love my brother. And I will be tuning in more to come. I got some ideas for Summer Stage as well for some digital stuff. I think I talked to Desmond about it today, but thank you. But hey, oh, there's Addison. Hey, Addison. Oh, your babies.
Yes.
Here, Maudie, the Binga sisters, giving them a shout out.
Shout out.
And
Christine
Chris Noble. Oh, this is so beautiful. Yeah. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to save this immediately afterwards. It'll be on my IGTV if you guys missed it. Hey, Thomas, welcome back. If you guys missed any of this, Olivia Bowman Jackson.
Oh, Olivia. That beauty.
Okay, that's all. Okay.
She's just a beauty. She knows
a beauty. She's a sweetheart beauty. But yes, hopefully I'll be able to save this immediately afterwards to my IGTV, but as well as to my Samaya Jackson, Antonio Carlos Scott. See, Dwight, Peter McMath. The kids are here, honey. This is probably, I'm looking at the numbers because I keep peeking up. This is probably one of my best watched shows. And of course, you're Dwight Rhoden.
Please.
No,
Thanks for the love, though. I'm so happy people showed up and came out.
No, it was awesome. And thanks for sharing it. And just, anything I can do, that I am here for you guys, for Complexions Ballet.
You've always been there, though. You're always.
Oh, thank you, guys. So I'm going to say goodbye to you now. We can get on with our Friday. If there's anything I can do before Wednesday to help support, promote, whatever it is, please let me know.
I will.
Yes. So love to you and Clifford.
Love to you too.
And I will see you soon.
All right. Bye, sweetie.
Bye, Dwight.
Bye.
Oh my God. Dwight Rhoden. Come on, y'all. Dwight Rhoden. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love that brother so much. He is one of my besties. And I appreciate all of you for watching. Again, please tune in Wednesday, February 3rd, 8:30 to Complexions website, as well as their Facebook page. Donate, or if you know somebody that got money, tell them to donate. We've got to keep them going. They're just too important to the fabric of the dance world and the arts at large. So I love you guys. Please check out the links in my bio. I always support independent businesses. This kimono by Stephanie Allen Limited and others, just take a peek and support, and I appreciate you. And I will see you next week. My guest next week is actually one of my former partners with Philadelphia and Alvin, Ailey, Mr. Bernard Gaddis. He's going to be my guest next week. He has an amazing company out in Las Vegas, and so I look forward to that as well. So thank you all for tuning in. And if you, again, miss any portion of this, hopefully the replay will be available within the next hour. So I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay strong, stay safe, stay healthy, love each other. Love each other, be kind, and I will see you next week. dannIGeeLive. Appreciate you.